What if I told you that one car on the road today actually carries the heart of a Formula One machine? The brand new Mercedes AMG 1 isn't just another hypercar. It's a $2.7 million engineering experiment that brings racing technology straight into the streets. With over 1,000 horsepower, active aerodynamics, and a design that looks like it belongs in the future, this car is rewriting the rules. But here's the real question. Is the AMG 1 truly a revolution or just an expensive flex? Mercedes has never been shy about pushing boundaries, but the AMG 1 takes that reputation to a whole new level. First teased years ago as a Formula One car for streets, this hypercar finally makes its debut, and it's unlike anything the brand has ever released. Built by Mercedes-AMG, the performance arm responsible for some of the world's fastest road machines, the one isn't aimed at your average luxury buyer. It's a statement piece, designed for collectors, enthusiasts, and anyone who wants the rarest slice of F1 technology outside the racetrack. Now, why does this launch matter? Because the AMG 1 isn't just another million-dollar hypercar with flashy looks. It's Mercedes putting its racing DNA on full display. In an era where electric cars dominate headlines, this machine dares to mix hybrid tech with raw combustion power, bringing together the best of both worlds. From its futuristic design to the promise of mind-bending performance, the AMG 1 has been hyped as one of the most ambitious cars of our time. But hype doesn't always equal reality. So, in this review, we're going to peel back the layers. The design, the interior, the performance, and ultimately, whether this car actually lives up to the legend Mercedes has built around it. From the moment you see it, the Mercedes AMG 1 doesn't whisper for attention. It demands it. The exterior looks like it was carved out of wind itself. Sleek lines cut across the body, every curve sculpted for aerodynamic purpose, every vent and fin serving a role borrowed straight from Formula One. The massive rear wing deploys on command, turning the car into something that almost feels alive, adjusting to the road or the track. Beneath it, open the doors and the futuristic theme continues. The interior feels less like a luxury cabin and more like the cockpit of a jet fighter. A minimalist digital display, squared-off steering wheel, racing seats, and carbon fiber everywhere remind you. This car isn't built for comfort. It's built for control. And yet Mercedes has sprinkled just enough refinement inside to remind you it's still a road car. Barely. But the real magic? It's what sits behind the driver. A 1.6-liter turbocharged V6 engine. The exact same technology Mercedes uses in its championship-winning Formula One cars, paired with 4 electric motors. The result? Over 1,000 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time under 3 seconds. It's the kind of acceleration that doesn't just pin you back in your seat. It blurs your surroundings until you feel like you've stepped into a video game. Of course, with innovation comes compromise. That screaming V6 has a lifespan far shorter than your typical road engine, designed more for bursts of extreme performance than long-distance durability. And while the hybrid system makes the AMG 1 slightly more eco-friendly, its electric-only range is limited, reminding you that this isn't trying to compete with Teslas or EVs. This car has a different mission: to prove that racing DNA can be bottled up and sold with a license plate attached. On the road, Mercedes claims it handles with the precision of a scalpel, thanks to advanced torque vectoring and all-wheel drive. But the real test isn't just about numbers on a spec sheet. It's how those numbers translate when the tires hit the track. Does it feel like a genuine Formula One car disguised as a hypercar, or does the weight of hybrid components dull that razor-sharp edge? That's a question we'll circle back to later. And then there's the price. At around $2.7 million, the AMG 1 isn't just expensive, it's exclusive. Production is limited, and every unit has already been spoken for. This isn't a car you'll stumble across at your local dealership. It's one of those rare machines destined to live in private collections and the occasional YouTube track day video. So the big picture comes down to this. The AMG 1 is jaw-dropping in ambition, but ambition often comes with trade-offs. As we peel back more layers, we'll explore whether this hypercar is truly a masterpiece of engineering or simply a headline grabber designed for bragging rights. And stick around, because in just a moment, we'll get into the key highlights and drawbacks that could make or break this legendary machine. This is the moment where numbers finally meet reality. On paper, the Mercedes-AMG 1 promises Formula One speed wrapped in a street-legal package. But how does that translate when the tires grip asphalt and the accelerator is pushed to the floor? The answer is nothing short of staggering. The AMG 1 rockets forward with ferocity that feels almost unnatural. The hybrid system and turbo V6 erupt in unison, delivering instant torque that shoves you back into your seat. The sound isn't just noise, it's a scream, a mechanical symphony that rattles your chest and reminds you this engine's DNA was bred for world championships. Cornering is where the real surprise hits. Instead of feeling like a heavy hybrid bogged down by its battery pack, the AMG 1 dances. The torque vectoring works invisibly, pulling you through corners with razor precision. For a car carrying the weight of hybrid tech, it shouldn't feel this nimble. Yet somehow, it does. But it's not flawless. Push it to its limits, and you can sense the compromise. The road car restrictions, emissions controls, hybrid complexity, soften the raw brutality you'd expect from a pure F1 machine. It's fast, it's wild, but it's also tamed just enough to be livable. And that's where expectations flip. The AMG 1 isn't the untouchable monster many thought it would be. It's something stranger, rarer. A race car forced to wear a suit and tie, blending the absurd with the everyday. So the question remains, does this balance make it the ultimate hypercar, or does it dilute the legend Mercedes promised? That's what we'll answer next, as we break down the highlights and drawbacks that could decide whether the AMG 1 is a masterpiece or a myth. So, where does that leave the Mercedes AMG 1? After peeling back the hype, the numbers, and the real-world driving, one truth stands clear. This isn't just another hypercar, it's a statement. On the positive side, it delivers an experience no other road car dares to match. A Formula One-derived engine, over 1,000 horsepower, breathtaking aerodynamics, and technology so advanced it feels like science fiction. It's the closest any of us will get to strapping into Lewis Hamilton's car and taking it for a grocery run. For collectors, enthusiasts, and the ultra-wealthy who crave exclusivity, the AMG 1 is a crown jewel. But perfection has its price. And not just the $2.7 million sticker. Limited usability, a relatively short engine lifespan, and the unavoidable compromises of hybrid complexity mean this car is as much a showpiece as it is a machine. It's not built for daily driving, and frankly, it doesn't pretend to be. For most, it's a fantasy, something to admire from afar, not a purchase to justify. In the bigger picture, though, the AMG 1 marks a turning point. It proves that hybrid technology can live not only in efficient family cars, but also in the highest echelon of performance. It signals where the future of hypercars might be headed, blending raw combustion with electric power in ways that push engineering boundaries. So, final verdict? The Mercedes AMG 1 isn't flawless, but it's unforgettable. It may not redefine the hypercar for everyone, but it redefines what's possible when ambition outpaces practicality. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the AMG 1 is a genuine revolution or just an expensive science project? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow car fans. Because this conversation is just getting started.